Donnie Reys, and this is Donnie Reys, No Fucking Filter, episode 222. Been on a hiatus, been working on some other side projects. Pacers Premium Podcast, check that out. Just been doing some other stuff, working on music, other stuff. Haven't been able to link with Chris. Obviously, I'm here by myself, but we're gonna get that back together. So, came through today for a little quick episode, you know what I'm talking about. A little 30-minute episode, just some quick stuff I wanted to talk about. Some stuff that I had planned on talking about probably with Chris, but maybe time had passed. Just want to hurry up and talk about that and miss this moment type shit. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into that. So, sports betting has become a big thing. You know what I'm saying? A real big thing. It's like I hear about everybody talking about FanDuel, DraftKings. You know, it was real big last year, like just betting on like fantasy and the little daily streaming. But now it's like legal pretty much everywhere where you can bet on actual games, spreads, money line, parlays, and everything. And that's a big thing now. I had never heard of parlays until this year, but everybody's talking about 4-game parlay, parlay this, parlay that. So everybody's on the betting train, sports betting train. And that made me, and this other story that happened I'm getting into, but that just like the whole wave of sports betting makes me wonder, and just like this story too, should players be allowed to bet too? Now, obviously, they can't bet against, like, shouldn't be able to bet on their game. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't be able to bet on their team. But should they be able to bet on other teams or anything? You know what I'm saying? Why can't they bet? So what makes me bring this story up is obviously there's a guy in the NFL. His name is Josh Shaw. He's a corner for the Arizona Cardinals. And he placed a bet at Caesar's Palace in like November. And he bet against the Cardinals. And like I guess they said like the bet was immediately flagged. And ended up blah blah blah. He got suspended. He's suspended for the rest of the year. Indefinitely, really, it said at least the rest of the year, but he's suspended indefinitely. He was also on IR too, so that kind of gets you like, kind of makes it like less crazy. But the fact that this man bet against his own team, that's wild in itself. But that just made me think about the whole thing. Should players be able to bet? Because I mean, I'm not exactly sure. I'm pretty sure they can for sure they can bet on other sports. But should they be able to bet on their own sport? Like, why shouldn't, just for instance, why shouldn't LeBron James be able to bet? Okay, no, this is a bad example. Why shouldn't, I'm a Pacer fan, Pacers, shout out Pacers. Why shouldn't Victor Oladipo be able to bet on the Warriors if he thinks they're going to beat the Cavs in the finals? You know what I'm saying? Type shit. Why shouldn't that be able to happen? Now, I could see not betting on your team on games that you're directly involved in, but why shouldn't they be able to bet on games that they're not involved in? Now, I guess the whole thing is that can open up fixes and everything there. Like, it might be your friend, they try to fit, blah, blah, blah. But I guess there's no really way to cut that off, so that's the way that they just cut it off everything. We're not betting at all. But it's almost, they want to say athletes are humans too, blah, blah, blah. Then they should be able to do something that regular people do. If they're human just like everybody else, why can't they bet on games? So that's just a thought. I just want to bring that up. There's just something I was thinking about. Hit me up. Let me know what you think about that. So sports betting. I know a lot of people. Well, I won't say a lot of people. Well, I know a lot of people have, but I know one dude in particular. He's won a decent amount of money this year on sports betting on the Ravens. And Lamar Jackson, quarterback of the Ravens, shout out Lamar Jackson, he's been fucking eating. But is this Ravens offense sustainable? That's just something that a lot of people have been questioning, and that's a good question. Now, the Ravens, they lead the league in rushing with 202 yards per game. That's a lot. And surprisingly enough, like when I was doing my research, I was looking at this shit and I didn't believe it. Like I double checked, triple checked this fact because I like didn't believe it. But Lamar Jackson has thrown for 2,889 yards, so basically 2,900 yards, 33 TDs, and 6 interceptions. It has a passer rating of 112. So that's fucking insane. Just like this man is MVP. Lamar Jackson should be the MVP. If he doesn't win MVP, something is fucking wrong. Because this man has been fucking killing. Can't take that away from him. Like, I had to triple check those numbers. Like, those numbers are insane. And I didn't even say nothing about his rushing numbers, but his rushing numbers are crazy. He broke Michael Vick's rushing record. He's throwing for almost 3,000 yards. Basically, he's going to get 3,000 yards. Still 2 games left. This man is fucking killing historic year. But is this sustainable? Because this offense, it's like it almost like reminds me, it's definitely like a college offense, but it almost reminds me like a wing T type offense. Like it's obviously they lead the league in rushing 202 yards, so it's based around running. And it just reminds me of a wing T offense, just like a whole bunch of motion and shit. And it's like this type of offense is easily stopped. I won't say easily stopped, but this type of offense is stopped in college. That was one of the reasons why like it never really fully made the transition into the pro game NFL because it wasn't working. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like even Chip Kelly, like he started to fall off. Like just it worked for a few years. So it's like I'm wondering, is this offense, is it really sustainable? Is it only gonna work for a few years? You know what I'm saying? Like as soon people gonna be able to stop it and they're gonna have to revert back to a more pro style, or is this gonna last? Because I mean, like I said, those numbers from Lamar are crazy, but it's just like after they get a full year of film, maybe this offense won't be as effective. I don't know. Maybe just Lamar's just that dude, and it just won't even fucking matter. Like I don't know, Michael Vick, he might be that type of guy, the generation, man. He might be a generational player. Who knows? But this offense is fucking killing. It'd just be interesting to see, you know what I'm saying, if this offense is sustainable. And with Lamar Jackson killing, that leads me to wonder, too, going into the college game, is Jalen Hurts a Lamar Jackson type player? Because I feel like Lamar Jackson, way he's killing, is like making uh Jalen's draft stock fucking rise like crazy. Like he's gotta be top 5. He's gotta be. This man, Jalen Hurts, he's passed for 3,600 yards, 32 TDs, and 6 interceptions. They're fucking in the college football championships, playoffs. What's the championship? College football playoffs, and like he's just made a name for himself. Like we already knew, like you know what I'm saying. We already knew he could run from Alabama. Like that was his strength at Alabama. But what his weakness was passing the ball. That's why Tua got to come in when they were down big because they didn't have faith in his throwing ability. So he stayed a year behind Tua, came in and won him a big game, and then he transferred to Oklahoma. And now he's trying to win a national championship at Oklahoma. He's been showing that he can throw. And it's just like, I think his draft stock is rising because of Lamar. And maybe that whole game is going to start to the NFL game is going to shift to more college type. You know what I'm saying? Because like these players, like they skill sets, like these quarterbacks nowadays, like it's becoming less and less of where the quarterback is just sitting in the pocket. Nowadays, you need a quarterback that's mobile, that can run. And like nowadays, just with seeing with Lamar Jackson is more beneficial if he's more of a runner. Now we're going to start to see if his body starts to break down because of all this running. But Lamar Jackson's a big dude. Jalen Hurts a big dude. I think his draft stock is booming partially because Lamar Jackson. And I think Jalen Hurts can come in and be on the same type level as Lamar Jackson because he has a better arm than Lamar Jackson, I feel like. Now, Lamar Jackson, he was killing in college, throwing it. But Jalen Hurts has a better arm. It just looks to me as he has a better arm. I've seen him throw better. His throwing motion is better. Like, Lamar Jackson kind of sidearms it. So, I mean, Jalen Hurts, I think he has a potential to be a better Lamar Jackson. Now, he's not as fast as Lamar. So that's a knock on him. Not a knock on him, but that's a difference. But he can throw the ball better than Lamar, and he can run the ball. I think if he gets on the team where they utilize his skills, I think he could be a next player that surprises the whole league. So, I'm recording this on what's tonight? A Wednesday night. And Trump was just impeached for abuse of power, and I forget what the other one was. When I last looked, the vote wasn't even done on that, but he was impeached for abuse of power. Now everybody's getting hyped, and people are ignorant. And when I say ignorant, I don't really mean it in a bad way, but I'm seeing people are saying like, oh, so Mike Pence is the president now. And no, Mike Pence is not the president now. Just because you're impeached does not mean that you are removed from office. You can be impeached and still be president. Bill Clinton was impeached, remained in office. I think it was Andrew Jackson or Andrew Johnson, he was impeached as well, remained in office. So just because you're impeached does not mean you're about to be removed from office. So what happens? What's the next thing that's going to happen? What's the next move? There's going to be a vote between the Senate. They're going to have a trial, and they're going to fucking vote and see if Trump is going to be removed from office. So the Senate is mostly Republican, so more than likely he's not going to be removed from office. So this whole thing, like I said on Twitter, follow me on Twitter, Black on Black, this whole thing was just a charade for the people to make them feel better. Oh, Trump is impeached. Yes, the people feel better. Nothing's going to happen from that. He was impeached. Okay. Still going to remain in office. And he's still going to get reelected. My man T-Bird said he's going back to back like the Bulls. He's going back to back, bruh. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'm not saying I wanted to have it, but I'm not naive. And like, he never thought he was going to be elected. He got elected. And people still support this man. Like, I see support for Trump 100 more than I've ever seen support for any other president. Like 100. Even Barack. Like, I see niggas coming out the woodwork to fucking support Trump. It's like, that shit's everywhere. And it's just like, he's going to get reelected. At least I believe. Who's going to run against him? It's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. So, the fact that he got impeached Does not mean he's going to be removed from office. He's not going to be removed from office, more than likely. And he's more than likely, I bet he's going to get reelected. So it's just like, come on, people. Let's educate ourselves. Let's not be naive. Let's not be naive. And speaking of being naive, RIP Juice World. And why I say he was naive. So if you don't know, like I said, RIP, he apparently was on a flight into Chicago, landed a private jet, and he was stopped by police. I don't know what exact agency, but he was stopped by the police. They searched his plane, and they wanted to search him. And apparently, he started going into a seizure. He started having a seizure, heard he's bleeding from his mouth, got rushed to the hospital, and when he got to the hospital, he was pronounced dead. So then it comes out after the fact that it was found like 70 pounds of marijuana on the plane. I think there were some guns. You know what I'm saying? And apparently, it was the pilot that snitched on him. That said there was stuff on the jet. But apparently, too, he had already been on surveillance beforehand. Like, this wasn't the first time one of his jets had got searched. Wasn't the first time he got stopped. So he's coming off the plane. I guess he has some pills. I don't know if it's Percocets, Xannies. I think they said it was Perks. But he had some Perks. And I guess instead of being caught with the Perks, he thought it would be a good idea to swallow the Perks. So I'm thinking he probably thought, okay, I'll swallow these Perks and then I'll go throw them up. But what I think happened was he swallowed the Perks and then like they stopped him and he wasn't able to get away and go throw it up. Like he probably thought he was gonna be able to go to a bathroom, and them shit start to get to working, and it was just too much for his body. And RIP, they got him up out of here. And it's just like, it's just a sad thing, man. All these motherfuckers is popping pills. And I say, man, want me to pop pills? No, not me. You crazy. Like, I'm not popping no pills. None of that shit. These dudes is out here, like, popping pills. Like, these pills are not meant to get high. These pills are meant for to relieve pain, or, you know what I'm saying? Whatever these different Xannies to help you calm down, whatever these different pills is for, they're not to get high. So you over here abusing these prescription drugs and you getting addicted to them. It's like, we know these prescription drugs, they fuck up your liver. They fuck up your kidneys. Like, Juice WRLD had a song talking about bad liver, bad kidneys. I forget what it's called. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like these niggas know this shit fucking them up and they continue to do it. And then we got these victims, these dudes dying. And then people like, they say they're not going to do the drugs anymore. It happened for a few months and then they right back on the shit. And then we got another nigga dying. It's just a circle. Just keeps on happening. We need to fucking quit fucking promoting this fucking prescription drug use, lean, all that shit. Like, I'm not usually the nigga to be on that, but shit, it's getting ridiculous, bruh. Like, hell, these niggas done died from that shit this year. Fucking, you know what I'm saying? Fredo, Juice WRLD. Who else died from that shit this year? Fucking Mac done died from some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these fucking drugs and shit these motherfuckers is doing. And these motherfuckers promoting this shit. These kids thinking this shit cool. We need to fucking get away from that shit. Fuck that shit, man. This is some real shit, man. I don't normally be on that shit, but fuck that shit. Like, shit getting old, bro. Hearing about motherfuckers, young niggas dying from that shit. It's getting old, man. It's getting fucking old. So, man. It's just, man, promote positivity. Get away from that fucking bullshit. That shit's getting old, man. Too many young black men dying. Like I said, you know when I'm saying some shit like that, it's gotta be something. Cause like I said, I'm not normally the nigga to be on that shit. Oh, blah, blah, no, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm usually just letting niggas do their own shit. But it's getting ridiculous now, bro. It's getting ridiculous. So, fuck that shit. We need to cut that shit out. Spread awareness. Fuck that shit. So the Colts lost on Monday Night Football to the Saints. And I mean, what could we really expect? You know what I'm saying? But Jacoby Brissett, he is who we thought he was. Or he is who I thought he was. You know what I'm saying? Jacoby Brissett, I won't take nothing away from what you did this year. You got 6 wins. You know what I'm saying? You did decent. But, like I was saying, like I've been saying, like I was never the one to not acknowledge what he did this year. But if you've been watching these podcasts, you've been watching me, listening to me, you know what I'm saying? You know that I have said that Jacoby Brissett is not it, and that we would need another quarterback. And that's what it's turning out to be, that Jacoby Brissett is not it, and we need another quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to take nothing away from him. He's thrown for 2,600 yards. And what's crazy is that's really, I said, Lamar Jackson done throw for 2,900 yards. That's crazy. It's a run-heavy offense, and he's thrown for more yards than fucking the Colts. And they want to say the Colts want to be a run team, but let's just keep it real. They're more a pass-heavy team, and a run-heavy team is throwing for more yards than us. That's fucking ridiculous. That is ridiculous. And it just shows, man, like Jacoby Brissett is not it. Like, I'm finishing up an article on this. Make sure you check that out. I'm working on a Raw Rational website. Make sure you check that out. Or I have some different people writing for that motherfucker. If you want to write for that motherfucker, hit me up. But I'm working on this article, and it's just saying, like, what are the Colts going to do? There's so many different options out there. And I was arguing with my buddy Chris that I feel like the Colts would have been better with Andy Dalton. And that's one of the things I'm talking about in the article. Make sure you check that out. But like, what is our options? Because 2,600 yards, completion rating of 62%. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I'm expecting more from my offense, from our head coach being offensive coordinator for the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? That was his past job. They was a pass-heavy team, good offensive scheme. You know what I'm saying? So I'm expecting more from our offense. And it's just like, we need a better quarterback that can facilitate that offense. Now, like I said, I'm writing an article on that. And I'm talking about like some of the different choices that we have. And it's just like Cam Newton's out there. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Andy Dalton. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of different choices out there. There's a few that I'm talking about in the article that I didn't name. Make sure you check that out when I drop it. But it's just like, what is the Colts' next move? Because Jacoby Brissett, Jatori Brisket, whatever you want to call him, he's not it. Jacoby Brissett is who I thought he was. And speaking of the Colts, too, I just wanted to say, fuck Eric Ebron. That man is a fucking bum. What is wrong with that man? Like, he was complaining about not getting the ball. First off, bro, you got bricks for hands. My nigga, you can't catch shit. And it's just like, get open, bro. Like, you'll get the ball. And now, all of a sudden, this man, a couple weeks ago, got put on the IR. And he said he had ankle surgery on both of his ankles. And then apparently he came out and said he'd been dealing with an ankle injury all year. And that this training staff knew. But Frank Reich came out and said he didn't know nothing about it. And he's saying he's dealing with an ankle injury all year. Then why you get surgery on both ankles? You didn't say ankle injuries. You didn't say on my ankles. You said my ankle, a singular. And now you have surgery on both of your ankles. It's like, this shit looking fishy. Like, did you even really have surgery? It's just like, you're going in to be as a contract year, so you about to be a free agent. And we know you was fed up with the team, but it's just like, bro, that's not professional. You just look like a bum, bro. And it's just like, that's some bullshit. That Eric Ebron full of shit. Fuck you. Come on, man. That was some bullshit. Speaking of bullshit, there was this fucking like apology that had to be made from Chris Pratt. Now, I don't even fuck with Chris Pratt. I think he's corny. But he had to make an apology for posing with a single-use water bottle. And he's like, I don't even remember what he was promoting. But the whole fact that this man had to fucking apologize for posing with a water bottle. Like, nigga, we all use fucking single-use water bottles. Come on now. We all fucking buy fucking Ice Mountain water or the generic waters. Even if you fucking buying Fiji water, whatever the fuck. Motherfuckers is all buying water. All drinking single-use water. So what is y'all niggas really tripping about? Like, motherfuckers is just ridiculous, bro. That's ridiculous. He had to fucking apologize for posing with a water bottle. Did you hear that? He had to apologize for posing with a water bottle. A water bottle, bro. That is ridiculous. It's just like, they talk about he should have showed a multi-use water bottle that you can use multiple times and then promote the environment being safe. And it's just like, bruh, that's why he got those. Like, people, I got those too. I use multi-use water bottles, you know, but I also use regular water bottles. Like, come on now. Don't try to, like, people be trying to fucking put people on different levels. Like, bruh, just because he's fucking famous does not mean he doesn't use regular water bottles. So he's not allowed to, like, come on now. Everybody uses regular water bottles. Like, there's nobody out here, or if they are, they're fucking few far in between. And some of the people that were complaining, I'm sure they're not them. Some of the people that were complaining don't only use water bottles that you can reuse. You have bought Ice Mountain water, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, come on, people. Come on, man. Like, society is ridiculous. Come on. That's ridiculous. Is that not ridiculous? Come on now. So, Pacers. Like I said, make sure you check out the Pacers Premium Podcast. And what got me thinking about this next topic is the Pacers and Myles Turner. And I'm not going to make it too much about Myles Turner. I'm trying not making anything about Myles Turner. But, like I said, what brought this to my attention, made me start to think about this. Are blocks overvalued in the NBA? Like I said, what made me think about this is Myles Turner. And, like, I think he should get traded. And people are like, he'll lose his defensive presence. He led the league in blocks, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, are blocks really that important? So, you block 2 shots. Say he averaged like 2 blocks a game. You block 2 shots. At max, that's stopping 6 points. At max, you block 2 threes. At max, that's stopping 6 points. Whoop-de-doo, you stop 6 points. And then a thing that my boy Chris, I got hella friends named Chris. My boy Chris said is that, okay, you blocked that shot. But who was to say he was even going to hit that shot? So that block, what is it even like? That could not even really mean shit. So it's like, are blocks really that important? You stop 6 points. Most of the time, a block, you stop in a 2-pointer anyway, a jump shot or a layup. So you stop 4 points. It's just like, is that okay? Now, is there a gauge for defensive presence then? That like that, like, I'm sure there's some type of statistic to weigh that, but that should be more that matters than blocks. Like, how many shots does he affect? You know what I'm saying? He might not actually block them shots, but how many shots does he affect? And I'm sure that there are players that affect more shots that don't really get blocks. but they are down there and you don't want to fucking go up on them because you know they're gonna fucking make it a tough shot. So just because somebody gets blocks doesn't necessarily, to me, make them a good defensive player. Because yeah, he got 2 blocks, but he was still getting fucked up down low. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like blocks are overvalued. So hit me up. Let me know. Am I tripping, or do you agree, or like, what's your take on that? Because I just feel like just because you get 2 blocks, that don't really, like, that's just overvalued. Like if you average 5 blocks, then okay, that's cool. I can see that. But that he led the league in blocks with like averaging like, I think it was like 2 blocks. Now don't quote me on that. Let me look that up real quick. Let me look that up real quick. What the fuck? I said league leader in blocks, nigga. So yeah, last year Myles Turner led the league in blocks with 2.7. So it's just like, we'll say 3. So you stop a max 9 points a game, but that's not gonna happen. You stop 6 points a game more than likely. You know what I'm saying? So like if you averaging like 5 blocks, I could see that. But just to be averaging 2 blocks, and then that's gonna be the whole reason we keep you and not really doing nothing else. It's just like blocks are overvalued, bro. Like it's just not that deep. Like you block some shots, we need to gauge it more on like how many the defensive presence there is down low. Just because he gets blocked, that doesn't. They're overvalued, man. Hit me up. Let me know what you think about that. So, final thing I want to talk about, and just put this in the air, have people thinking about. And I didn't come up with this. I don't even remember. I seen it on Twitter somewhere. Like I said, follow me on Twitter, Black on Black. But they were like, Michael Vick. And you've seen this whole thing with Michael Vick. People are saying that he's the honorary captain for the NFL Pro Bowl, and they're trying to say he shouldn't be that, blah blah blah, all that because the dogfighting shit that he went through. Like this man has been in jail, served his time. He even came back in the NFL after this. He's been in the NFL after this. Like this man played in the NFL after he went to prison for the dogfighting shit. So he's been in the NFL, retired from the NFL, and now people want to trip because he's an honorary team captain at a Pro Bowl. Say he shouldn't be that, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what the fuck? It's like, this man has already been through this shit, served his time, and it just made the topic arise. Does America not forgive the black man? They can't forgive Michael Vick. O.J. Simpson, another example. Proven innocent. Didn't go to jail for that murder. He didn't do it. But America don't believe that. America acts like he did it. Like you may think he did it, but hey, man, went to court. They didn't do it. He didn't do it. Like, hey. And it's just like, America still treats him like he did the shit. I know he went to jail for some other shit, but America still treats him like he did that. Like, I'm saying, I be feeling like OJ should have a job at ESPN, FS1. Because I be seeing the shit, man. He be having good takes. That man got personality. The man funny. Like, I feel like, shit, Shannon Sharp. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Shannon Sharp on fucking TV. You know what the fuck I'm saying? I fuck with Shannon, but it's just like, shit. Shannon Sharp on TV. Fucking Jason Whitlock. You know what I'm saying? Colin Cowherd. Like, nigga, shit. I'd rather hear fucking O.J. Simpson than those fucking motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, America just, like, it's so hard on the black man. We make a mistake, and they just hold it against us forever. But white people make a mistake, and they might hold it against us for a little bit, but it blows over. Like, shit, this is not the same shit, but Mel Gibson, bro. Like, this nigga, like, said nigger and shit on, like, audio, bro. Like, they got it on audio, bro. Like, you can look this shit up. America don't give a fuck about that, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, but the black man, they hold them to such a higher standard. Like, we gotta be perfect at all times. If we not, then they just gonna hold it against us forever. It's like, this man, Michael Vick, served his time. OJ didn't do it. He served his time for another shit. But people still hold that shit against them. And it's just like, it's just ridiculous, man. Why is America so hard on the black man? Why? So, man, this is a quick little episode, 30-minute episode of Donnie Reys No Fucking Filter. Like I said, hit me up on Twitter, Black on Black. Make sure you follow me on that. Instagram, Black on Black. Like I said, we're going to come back next week. Hopefully my man's Chris will be in here. Get this shit consistent. Try to get consistent. If you want to be on here, be a consistent guest, hit me up. Let me know. We trying to get this shit. I'm building this shit, man. It's getting bigger slowly but surely, man. Trying to get on a higher level, man. So if you're trying to be like consistent with it with us, being here every week on the week, like, you know what I'm saying, like on the dot, like you trying to be with it, hit me up. We can raise some shit. If you're trying to be on here, hit me up. Trying to get guests, trying to get interviews, hit me up. But like I said, Donnie Reys No Fucking Filter, episode 222. We out here.